I am quite in love with Sandra Bullock. That doesn't mean that I'm going to love everything she's done by default. I have to say, as far as the Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood is concerned, there are things about it that I liked, but it wasn't as good as I had hoped, and also that I'd been led to believe. This was released in 2002. It's directed by Callie Curry and written by Cooley, adapted by Mark Andrews, based on the novels by Rebecca Wells. I haven't read any of the books. If you have and you know how it compares, let me know. If you think the book's worth reading, I might look out for it. And we do have a pretty great cast here. And alongside Bullock, we have Ellen Burstyn, James Garner, Maggie Smith, who I love. So Gina McKee's in it. A really good cast. You know, there's always something on screen that I can appreciate, whether it's the action or the cast. But for me, the narrative just wasn't very interesting. It wasn't very moving. I didn't really find it that gripping. So the description from IMDb is as follows. After years of mother-daughter tension, Siddalee receives a scrapbook detailing the wild adventures of the Yayas, her mother's girlhood friends. And basically and simply, Sidda, played by Sandra Bullock, is introduced to her mother's friends from her youth, and she begins to be opened up to the things that they used to do when they were her age, and it's a whole bonding thing. And in that sense, I think it's quite nice. It's really sweet, it's very moving, it's very eye-opening. If you are the kind of person who maybe has a strained relationship with a parent or a child, it may be really beneficial for you. It's also really interesting to just be reminded that the older generations were once your age, however old you are. Anybody who is older than you was once your age. And people got up to their own things, and some of the things they got up to and reenact are certainly very interesting. I will say it's not predictable. A lot of the characters in this are very charismatic, flamboyant, and we have a great mix of women here who her mother used to, I guess, hang around with when she was younger. And that certainly drives the narrative forward, because we have a great bunch of people. I particularly love Ellen Burstyn in this. I think she's absolutely fantastic. Really, I can't fault it in terms of the casting, the acting, the directing, very good. We have some really great costumes in here, really beautiful costumes. And the humour is also quite good as well. For me, I just think the narrative ebbed and flowed a bit too much. When it was good, it was really good. But when they weren't doing the reenacting, and I think basically when Sandra Bullock or Ellen Burstyn weren't centre of attention and captivating my mind, I just wasn't that interested. So it's got a 6.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which I think is fair enough. I'd maybe give it like a 5.9. It was good, but it wasn't great. It wasn't as good as I expected, but it could have been worse. I don't regret watching it. Will I watch it again? Probably not something I would make the effort to watch. But if it was on TV or whatever, then maybe I'll sit down and watch it again and give it another chance. I'd say give it a watch if it sounds like your kind of thing, or if you like any of the cast. Certainly the performances are great. It's quite high energy at sometimes, but not often. But if you are the target audience, it might move you, it might affect you. Certainly not a bad film, just not what I was hoping for.